they are, I'm afraid to say, they are part of the problem. Let's go to the One Nation leader, Pauline Hanson, who joins us from her home in Queensland. Good to talk to you, Pauline. Just on that, this anti-Semitism scourge which is ongoing. I've discussed it with you over the past 2 years. I just don't think our state or federal governments have done enough to stamp this out. I think the New South Wales government has gotten stronger over time. It was weak at the outset, but I don't see anything from the federal Labor government that has really increased their effort here at all.
I don't think they have either, Chris, and I agree with you. We've seen that they try to bring in hate speech laws, but when you still see imams on the streets crying out their hatred, and it shouldn't be allowed, I just stop it straight away. The police, you were right, the police are frightened to actually come out against them. The members of Parliament are frightened to come out against them because they don't know the repercussions that's going to happen. It's just been let to get this stage in this country. They feel they just go out there and do whatever they want to do, and they get away with it. So until you've got strong leadership to come down hard on anyone that preaches any hate right across the board, whether it's neo-Nazis, whether it's, Islamophobia or, hate against anyone, the Jewish community, should never have happened to them.
Yeah, and Anthony Albanese and his government have just rewarded the haters by recognising a non-existent state of Palestine, thinking that's what they want.
Yes, correct. That's exactly what they want. And they're spreading the tentacles throughout this country. They're not reined in on a lot of issues. So anyway, it's something that I will keep pushing forward to expose it for what it is and show the government up for what they're doing.
All right, let's talk about immigration, something where you've been a strong voice for decades and where you've been consistent. The Liberal Party looks like having a bit of internal turmoil over the immigration debate at the moment. I want to have a look at this email from Andrew Bragg, Liberal senator, that he sent out to members of the party. He says, many argue that the salvation for Australian housing would be to cut migration. We should look to the Menzies era for a solution. Immigration is, that's the end of Andrew Bragg there. He's supporting high levels of immigration. And let's go to another quote here from Andrew Hastie. These are both written postings to their supporters and their members. Andrew Hastie says immigration is out of control. It's bidding up housing prices and rents and destroying our fragile social cohesion. Families have never had such a rotten deal. Buying a home feels impossible. Now, obviously, you would agree with the Andrew Hastie version there, but it just seems to be troubling that the Liberal Party has such divergent views there that they can't find some common ground here, because no one is actually arguing to get rid of immigration. It's just about the level and the controls around it.
Chris, that tells me they're not in tune with the grassroots Australians. Now, I went to Melbourne on the weekend for a rally against mass migration, and the people are angry. And it doesn't just stop with housing, rental accommodation. It's also in the hospital, the education, nursing homes, infrastructure, roads. Wherever you go of a morning, the roads are just, congested because of the high numbers that we have coming into the country. So it's a flow-on effect as well. And he says, well, it won't change the matter. And he wants to go back to Menzies. Well, Menzies was 70 years ago. That was just after the Second World. Totally different circumstances to what we have now. And you've got over 70 to 80% of people saying the immigration is very high. And those people that are saying, no, let more in. These are people, when you have 30% of Australians are actually born overseas, they're the ones that are wanting to bring in their own families. They still want more to come in because they want to bring out their own loved ones into Australia. We can't cope with it, Chris. That's why I believe cut it right back to about 150. We have 130, I should say. We have about up to 200,000 a year may leave in 1 year. Replace those. But we've got to bring in skilled migrants. Now, between 22 and 23, we brought in 740,000. Now, of that, only 1,800 were in the construction industry. And in 2017, I was warning them then that we never had enough tradies in Australia. And I got them to put up an apprenticeship policy that I had, but they only did it for 1,360. So I tried to warn them back then with a shortage. And it's exactly what's happened now. We're not bringing the right people. we're flooding the country, and Bragg is completely wrong here. As he was with Net Zero, he should be on the Labor side of government. He should be with the Greens, not with the Liberal Party. They're arguing with each other. They have no idea of finding a middle ground.
Yeah, it's just a stupid thing to do politically because they need to sell a consistent message. But I agree with you. I think Andrew Bragg is just right. He's fighting at shadows. Nobody is arguing against immigration. It's about the number and how you control it. And we've learned in the past that you've got to have strong and orderly immigration in order to progress the nation, but also to maintain support for immigration. We've seen that time and time again. I've got to get to the latest polls, get your interpretation on them. You must be rapt at how highly One Nation is polling at 18%. That's quite incredible. But I want to focus on males, Gen X males. That's males sort of in their late 50s and below, I suppose. You must be really appealing to. What are we talking about here? The tradie cohort, or do you know who's coming to you as a party?
Well, these are the males, apparently, you know, 50, born 65 to 80, those ones who may be in financial stress, and they're saying, hey, we've got to give this woman a go and this party a go, because, you know, to get that age in life and you're still struggling, you've got to ask yourself why. The mortgage rates are going up, they can't have families. A lot of these guys also have got probably through a marriage breakup, so, you know, they're doing it tough out there. And it can also be from family law. I'm the only one that's really out there fighting about family law. And many of these issues, Chris, as well. So I appreciate all the support that I'm getting. And Demos, who came out, they said that we're looking at possibly 12 lower house seats. That One Nation now, if an election was held, that we'd have a good chance of winning. So One Nation is doing extremely well. I'm very buoyed by that. But it's still 2.5 years outside election. A lot can happen then. So polls, great, but a lot of work to be done yet.
Sure is a long way to go. It just strikes me that Barnaby Joyce would just about fit into that age bracket, wouldn't he? He might be just the last of the boomers before you hit Gen X, but he's certainly a male of around about the right age. Thanks for joining us, Pauline. Appreciate it. Pauline Hanson there live from